Welcome to the SABC News. As you are well aware that this year is quite important, particularly in the country as we head to the ANC's elective conference in December. But of course, there are a number of people that we'll be speaking to, hearing their voice, particularly those who may be in the know. With me today will be one of those, Mathews Phosa. I mean, he's well known. He's the former Treasurer General of the ANC, and of course, he's held so many other roles in the ANC. And of course, recently he wrote something very interesting about the state of affairs in the country and also in his ruling party. So we'll have a chat with him to really find out his views going forward as his party is going to hold this all-important conference. With me is Mathews Phosa, the former Treasurer General of the ANC. Mr. Phosa, welcome and thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you and to have your viewers and listeners listening and viewing us.
To start off this conversation, I mean, I don't need to go back to say who you are in terms of your role and the struggle and everything else.
No.
But it's more about the issues of the day. Just a few days ago, you wrote something very interesting and very critical about the state of affairs. So, are you not a happy man as a South African currently?
Let me tell you, I am extremely happy because I'm enjoying what I'm doing in private life. I'm in business and I'm enjoying it. And the opportunity to be able to share with young people and create new businesses and create new entrepreneurs, it excites me. And I'm doing that on a daily basis, as if it is religion, to make a difference. So I leave a legacy of my knowledge in the young people. That makes me happy.
That's a happy space.
Yes, but
a private space.
Yes, in my private space. I'm a very contented man. You can look at me. I'm turning 70 tomorrow, but I don't really look 70. I know that. And, but let me tell you something.
Yes.
I'm not happy with the political situation at the moment. I think we have lost the opportunity to deliver services to ordinary people. The mission in the Constitution is to deliver a better life.
Yes.
We're not doing that. We're lagging behind on housing, on education, and agriculture, on many fronts. You know, we are lagging behind, and then that creates instability and disconnect between the ruling party and the masses. And the disconnect is very clear. We've lost the Tshwane municipality, Uguruleni, Johannesburg, Nelson Mandela. These are big budget cities. And there is no play to lose those things. It leaves a big wound in the heart of the African National Congress. And therefore we're losing base. Like the chairman of the party said, we might end up being a rural party. It's not a wild, unfounded statement. It's very founded in the direction in which we're going. It's a question of time before even the rural people lose confidence in us. We need to be careful. But be as it may, the polls are saying between 38 and 50%, the ANC must still be in power. But I see more a migration towards a coalition power situation. I think that's looming large. That to keep a majority in a government, the ANC will find itself having to look for allies, some of which it never thought of before. But you don't prepare for allies, you prepare to win an election. But the risk remains, you're going to budget for both scenarios. And those scenarios need to be worked out in advance. But for me, the biggest investment is to restore the confidence and trust of the people in the party. If we did that and really dealt decisively with corruption, not twigging our fingers, decisively, arrest people, prosecutions, and imprison those people, let them pay the price for stealing, return the stolen money. We need to be
yes. No, I think I get
all
the
over
sense.
and clean up.
Yes, I think I get the sense.
And we must start, charity begins at home. We must start within the party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think the current leadership of the ANC is doing enough towards addressing those issues that you've raised, issues of concern?
Not at all. Not at all. If you look at the Zonal Commission, the Zonal Commission is all over the show, but it hits home. And some of those people it hits are still sitting in cabinet. And that creates dissatisfaction among the masses. They say, oh, there are rules for them and rules for us. You know, the ANC cooks with milk, We cook with water. If you understand my
analogy, yes.
Why don't we all cook with water? And all of us, if you do something wrong, you get the same punishment as anyone else. Why are they untouchables? We should not have untouchables just because you're a member of the ANC. We should deal with everyone. First, we must deal with one another first before we even want to deal with anybody else. The party will have a big different smell to it, a different image to it. It will look honest, to look clean, it will look decisive against crime and corruption. At the moment, we're wobbly, and we need to address those things.
I think President Ramaphosa came with a strong message on corruption when he took over. Are you convinced that his message or his actions speak to that?
Not at the moment. I think, I'm not being personal, I like him myself. I think he's stressing the public, it's taking too long to decide. I think if we could speed up the decision-making process. Government should be, is the principle of decisive executive action. Determines whether or not you are that government. It's lacking at the moment. Decisive executive action. He needs to put speed to his actions.
I mean, this is your old comrade, as you've said, that it's not personal, it's your friend.
Yeah.
Have you picked up the phone and to say, Mr. President, you are not doing what we expect you to do?
No, I don't want to disclose our confidences, but there are many times I say in WhatsApp, we communicate all the time, credit to him, he talks to us, and say, Mr. President, the point I'm making, the Zonal Commission is going to hit very hard home. Yes. I raised it even the report came out. But it was clear where it was going, that it will hit home very hard. But the cause for action is within the ANC. But we should clean up.
Yes, obviously, right now, he's the face of the ANC by virtue of being the president.
Yes.
So what are generally his responses, given that, I mean, you are a senior, a veteran, and that you are not happy here? I mean, just imagine someone inside who has conduct not happy. Just imagine of someone who's out there who can only watch. So what are normally his responses when you engage with him? Not only you alone, you and your comrades.
Well, he says he'll take action. And if not, he didn't say it to me only, he says to the country, I'll take decisive action, I'll fight corruption. He says that all the time. But I'm saying you need to put speed. Find out Mafuta. You must put speed to action. There must be decisiveness. People must not be saying, but when is he arresting this one? When is he doing this? There should be agency about it. We don't have time between now and next elections. And the people are not sitting there useless. They vote. They'll either vote for us or vote against us. But the pattern at the moment, they're voting against us. And we cannot deny it. Why did we lose such big metros? Mangaung is on knife edge. I don't know how strong we are in Durban. These are big metros. You don't lose your urban power and think you will stay for too long. Ask the Sandinista in Nicaragua. Yes, there's a lot of experiences.
So right now, 3 months from now, Mr. Phosa, we are going to the election of the ANC leadership.
Yes.
Would you say the people perhaps who are being fronted, I know there's nothing official in terms of the nomination, so, or maybe let me put it this way, would you still vote for President Ramaphosa to be the president of the ANC in December?
Well, I only have one vote if I'm in that conference, so it doesn't make any difference. The delegates of the conference must decide who must be president, who must be chairman.
Yes, but I'm saying in your case.
I wouldn't be. I don't have a personal view about who must be who. I leave it to the delegates and I trust their judgment. If they believe in him, they must vote for him. If they don't, they must not vote for him. This is the art of democracy.
And then Mr. Phosa is also a very well-known leader. You are leading, you've been leading. If perhaps delegates feel, maybe let's give the baton to Mr. Phosa, would you take it?
Well, you're talking about a hypothetical case.
Yes.
I never don't engage hypothetical cases.
It could happen in 3 months.
No, I can't respond to A. It's a hypothetical case. But where I'm sitting now, I told you at the beginning, I'm having fun with my business. And they're doing well. And I'm very happy. I'm creating thousands of jobs for the unemployed in this country. And I'm creating new entrepreneurs. For me, that's the focus. I'm not obsessed with power. And I get surprised when people scramble like in a rugby match for power.
But if people say, Mr. Phosa, who has led us is leading well in private sector, we want him back?
Well, I have not applied my mind to that.
So you have not applied your mind to that?
Yes.
Let's just take it's happening. So what would you do?
No, it's hypothetical again. You want me to shadow box?
No, yeah.
You're never going to get the answer you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but you do have that answer.
Yeah, I've given you the answer already. I said I don't have.
Okay, so you give me that answer at Nasrec.
I said I have not applied my mind.
Okay, but the reason I'm asking like this because you are very open and outspoken about what you are not liking, and then given that you have the experience of leading, you know what's supposed to be. You've been the TG, and then you see what's happening in your party, staffers not being paid.
I've been a premier. I fired 3 MECs for corruption.
Yes.
I did. And my record speaks for itself. I've never allowed corruption around me.
Yes.
I was a treasurer. There's not one story of me stealing a cent. On the contrary, I received the money from wherever I got it, and I shall keep that as my secret to death. And I equalized the salaries of the ANC workers to private sector. We did a study. And so it's fair. They've got children. They've got children at university. They must live a good life. And we agreed that we will pay them an increase every year, which is inflation related. Yes. And each worker will get a bonus on their birthday. We did that for 5 years without failing.
Yes.
It was a joy to hear mothers working in the ANC saying, you know what, Mtanan, I can now pay for my child's university fees. It gave me a lot of pleasure. I was happy.
Okay. Given that, I'm sure if you had time, you may have watched yesterday the debate in Parliament, and then there was a lot of issues around President having to account on Phala Phala. What's your view on the current situation around the President and Phala Phala?
You see, my view is we don't know the facts, and the facts will come from the investigations, and a lot of matters are still sub judice. You understand?
But there's no case opened, so
I'm saying that's exactly that makes it worse. That makes it worse. Yeah. There's no case open. That's why it's not good to talk too quickly in that parliament. Yeah. So they're politicizing something on which is very legal. You know, and I understand the president's approach. Why must I answer when there's no case against me open? Number 2, there's still investigation taking place. You understand? I mean, it's only a fool who will answer. Why do you answer? What are you answering? We don't know what the facts are. All those parliamentarians sitting there asking questions, they're just teasing him. They're playing to the public gallery. They're not looking at the legal issues. You know, the rules of natural justice say you have to be charged if there's a charge against you. He's not charged, number 1. Yes. Number 2, the investigations are going on. The parliamentarians, all of them put together, they don't have the facts. They have allegations. And therefore, there's nothing wrong with this response. Maybe at some point, when the facts are known, there will be something wrong with that type of response. But give it time. Let's get the story of Phala Phala properly investigated, and then we know what accountability we put on the president. I'm not his lawyer. I'm not this lawyer. I think it's fair to say we can't respond to air. We can't respond to wild allegations. In this country, people can make any allegation and think you must respond.
So what do you say to some of your colleagues, some of the veterans like Mathews Phosa, who've basically said, given the issue of the cloud around Phala Phala, maybe the president must step back a bit?
I'm a lawyer, ne?
Yes.
I've got my own tenets of reasoning. That's why I'm saying he's innocent until there is something that finds him guilty. There is not at the moment.
Yes.
We hear about all dramatic, it's like a movie.
Sure. Politically, what do you think?
No, I can't. The legal case, it's not a political case. It's got political connotations. But before you go to the political connotation, deal with the factual legal situation. And that's why I'm giving you an answer. There's too much investigation taking place on Phala Phala. Let's get the facts of those things before we speak too quickly. Politicians are politicians. They'll do what they did in Parliament. They've been paid for doing that. Yes, otherwise we'll think they're useless.
Yes. No. And then you really are very clear about the state of affairs. That's how we started our discussion.
Yes.
To say it's not looking good. So what is it that can be done in the immediate to try and win the confidence of the people?
My brother, we need to fight corruption. Not only say we will fight corruption, but we must be seen to be fighting corruption. And I said, charity begins at home. Must clean our own stable. We must clean.
Okay. What does that mean? Maybe
means we must arrest our own comrades who are involved in corruption. We must send them to jail. We must prosecute them.
Are you saying, Mr. Phosa,
yeah,
the kind of arrests that are happening now are selective?
Very selective. Maybe something else is coming. At the moment, the impression is not that. How many politicians have been charged? How many? Give me one. But how many politicians are mentioned in Zondo?
Yeah.
Many. Yeah. But give me one who's been charged.
So then who do you, for example, as someone who has a legal background, who would you blame for this?
The authority. The Minister of Justice must tell us why are the politicians not being charged? I mean, everybody is asking that question.
Yes.
Yeah, we can have Brian Molefe and Singh being charged, but are we not just having casualties here? But where are the politicians?
Is your feeling that perhaps some state agencies may be politically used, given that people who you feel should be charged are not charged?
I don't have evidence to come to that conclusion, but I've got evidence that there's not a single politician who has been charged so far, and every South African is asking that question. And there are a number of politicians which are being mentioned in the Zondo Commission's report.
Yeah.
Number.
But does that not defeat exactly what you said earlier to say, as a lawyer, so you wait for investigations? What if those investigations are still continuing?
We need to know who is being investigated. We need to know. We don't know, me and you sitting here, who is being investigated. Yeah. Then that will give us an assurance. I'm very logical in my presentation to you. Yeah. So the president is being investigated. We know.
Yes.
Who else is being investigated?
Yes.
You don't know. And the people out there say, but the ANC favors its own. They are untouchable. I don't like that smell.
Yes. Do you have confidence in the state agencies like NPA, Hawks and stuff like that?
I don't think the NPA is decisive. But they should be having teeth. They should be prosecuting. They are another implementing arm of the state. They are seized with the Zondo Commission's report. They mustn't wait for the president to crack the whip. They must study the evidence. If they're understaffed, they must say so. But they must prosecute.
Yeah.
And they must be without fear or favor.
Yes.
Yeah, but because once there's a smell of fear and of favors, then we're going down the road of criminals.
I think there's something also that in your speech that you delivered, or in the article that you also wrote, where you're basically saying some of your comrades are scared to speak because there could be reprisals. What do you mean?
I never use such words about reprisal. I don't want to use that. There's not a word in my speech about reprisal.
All right, let's put it in its proper context.
Yeah. I'm saying
yes,
the good comrades in the ANC are very uncomfortable with what's going on.
Okay.
And you hear me what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. They say the same thing. You understand?
So
they say the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, this is the noise we had before Cope left, right?
Yes.
The same noise. But on the other side, the other side being the other side of those who are uncomfortable with corruption, there are others, and I don't want to categorize them.
Yeah.
Let me tell them, Mzwandile.
Yeah.
I don't think if you want to deal with the ANC, you can say there's this group is angels, there's this group is devils.
Yes.
It's a very superficial, useless political analysis. In the both factions, if you count them as two, yeah, they're devils and they're also angels. And we must find them and say, how do you bring this guy together? But the fact of the matter is, you could have a what they call a right-wing split or a left-wing split, yeah, or both. You got to rescue the party and say, how do I bring all these things together? And then clean it up. And
that's exactly the point where I was going, where you were speaking about the possibility of a split.
I've said so.
Yes.
Yes. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. And I won't give names or anything.
Sure.
It's very informed view. It's not a claim. And I'm saying it could be left and right. We need to rescue this ANC and protect it. For me, the ANC remains an embodiment of the aspiration of our people. The mistakes we're talking about now are not the ANC mistake. Yeah. They're the mistakes of members of the ANC, and not all, but some.
Do you have men and women who have the caliber to rescue that situation currently?
Yeah, they are there in the ANC. And they will rise at the right moment. I don't think we should rush fast forward to the future. They are there. There are people who love the ANC who are not corrupt. That's why I say, don't say these are the factions. Yeah, this faction is angels, this is devils.
Okay.
It's a superficial political analysis.
So are you able to, I know we're not talking names here, but these are your comrades, you know them.
Yeah.
So who, I mean, perhaps one or two names of people who you think can rescue the situation?
I'm not going to say it now. No, I won't say it, but I know them, they talk to me.
Is the name Mathews Phosa
one of those? I won't say anything, but they talk to me.
No, I'm saying, is the name Mathews Phosa one of them?
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that, but they talk to me.
Right.
In my situation as a lawyer, because I cannot take sides, I will never as a lawyer agree to be factionalized. Yeah. That's why when the president gives me a mandate, when someone begins to factionalize issues, I tell them, no, don't factionalize this. This is an issue of the ANC. Don't taint it with factional politics. Let's be about factions and deal with issues. I'm telling you now, because of the trust comrades have. Those who are to the left, tell me. Those to the right, tell me. So I know. I'm not claiming. I said to one comrade, go to hell, don't tell me about claiming. I'm factual. I know what I'm talking about. You better go and sleep with your intelligence.
Going towards closure, Mr. Phosa, you've basically warned of the split that we've spoken about. Is it avoidable between now and...
I warned against dismissing Malema. And I speak with pride. I warned. I said, the young man has erred. Let's correct him. I defended him and I made many uncomfortable enemies. I did not care. But I had the foresight to say, you're going to hurt the party. And in no time, when he went out with 1 million voters. It's fact, but I warned. I even said there's no dustbin for comrades. If you put comrades in dustbins, there will be like rats that go and eat the dirt in the dustbin and come out and bite you. I was the one who said there's no dustbin for comrades.
I remember.
I'm saying again, mark my word, we must listen to the warnings.
Is it avoidable even at this late stage?
It is avoidable. It is avoidable. I said to you earlier, the ANC must take stock of the issues which are difficult and address them in a non-factional way. And I'm saying you cannot say this is arity, this is that, and therefore the left is devils, the right is angels. It's not true. It's failure to think correctly politically. The angels on both sides, the devil on both sides. Bring them together and find a way forward. Clean up as you go.
Well, on that note, thank you very much, Mr. Phosa.
Yes.
Really appreciate this interview.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Well, that was the leader, basically, of the ANC. He's been leading in various capacities. He was the former treasurer of the ANC and, of course, the former premier and very well known, in fact, earlier. So he was showing me around some of his illustrious pictures showing that he's been in this service for quite a long time.